Great morning, everybody. What's going on? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. Looking forward to spending this morning session with you all as we watch Bitcoin over here, $47,000, new all-time highs. Beautiful to see. Price discovery taking place. Great to see. Wonderful to see each and every one of you this morning, just brightening my day, brightening my life. Thank you for the gift you are in my life. Here we are watching Bitcoin. The title of this video, by the way, if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, let's get going. The title of this video is something like Bitcoin, $48,000. What do I think happens next, right? And the reason I say that is because the first thing that people look for right now is that 30% pullback. They're like, okay, when are we going to have a 30% pullback? I want to buy Bitcoin. Obviously, I see it keeps going up. I'll buy on the 30% pullback. Okay, well, we just had a 30% pullback. And not only as we were having it, and I always hold, more or less, figuratively hold everybody's hand as we're going through those pullbacks. That's when I'm the most vocal about what's going on with Bitcoin. Because I want to make sure everyone has that awareness about them. You remember over here at this tick over here, and by the way, I do this on the 8 hour, not the daily. I do what I do on the 8 hour, not the daily. It's how I do what I do, right? Here we are. We could see over here during this little price spike below $30,000. I tweeted out to everyone. I said, listen, if you miss Bitcoin under 20,000, because back then I told you fully positioned and more, this is your opportunity to buy at 30,000 because Bitcoin had just come off $42,000. It had just come off this peak over there. Everyone wanted to buy Bitcoin here as it pulled back that 30%. People got a little bit nervous. A lot of people said it was going back to 22,000. I don't know, closing some gaps from some futures exchange in Chicago. Listen, the question was, by the way, what do I think about Tesla shareholders not thinking adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet's a good idea? Listen, I could care less. I could genuinely care less. Bitcoin does not need Elon. Elon needed Bitcoin, right? I was very clear about that early on. And it's the same thing with the shareholders. It really doesn't matter what they think or what they don't think. Elon knows it was inevitable looking back. And so there you are. Either which way, let's keep going over here. When things are a little bit tough, as we're pulling back 30% off the all-time high and people are a little nervous, right? That's when I'm pointing out our risk, our greatest risk, what it should be technically, trying to get everyone to realize this is what you've been looking for. We were very clear on this work over here on the Bitcoin playlist. By the way, 76,000 subscribers. Thank you. On the Bitcoin playlist, right, I have over here a video, 3 ways to trade the Bitcoin bull market over here. This talks about strategy number 2, each and every. Here's the 4-year cycle. This is why this is the first picture here. Look at that 4-year cycle. The blue lines are the halving event as they occur. Look, this is the bear market. The bear market is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Second strategy, every time you have a 30% pullback, that's when you buy. Now we're enjoying the trade. Remember 38,000? I tweeted out to you what I tweeted out to you. I said, yeah, this is comfortable. Bitcoin, 38,000 is absolutely, everyone should be so comfortable. And anything above, that's the gravy, right? So here you are. You should be sitting comfortably into position now as we target our next area. Could we have a 30% pull down? Yes, we can. It's possible. And do remember back in the second cycle, you can see it over here pretty clearly. In the second cycle over here, we had a 30% drawdown. And then we had another 30% drawdown right after each other after going on to make that new all-time. It's possible. It could happen at this point where we are right now. How many days after halving? I don't think it's likely, but anything could happen. It's the markets. We all know that, right? So do expect or do be open to the possibility. Even from here, you could have a 30% pullback. Where would that take you, by the way? Where would that take you if you were to have that 30% pullback? That would take us back into about 34,000 in that area. And there's pretty good support over there that's building. Pretty good support in that area. All right, what next? What is next? And by the way, I pointed out as that pullback was occurring, that's normal price behavior for this point in the cycle, pointing to the 2 previous cycles and showing around this time they each had that pullback as well. It was nothing to be alarmed at. We talked and walked each other through it. There was other things that I wanted to share with you. There's a lot I want to share with you. This tweet yesterday, if you didn't see it, the exit from Bitcoin is all at once. I will know the spot. and I will take it with confidence. When it is time for me to exit Bitcoin at the top of this 4-year cycle, at the top of the bull market phase, my exit will be clean. It will be in one shot because I will know that is the exit. I'm not scaling in. I'm not scaling out because I know where the top is, or I know as close as I could get to the top over here. Some people think that, listen, you should scale out. That's not only telling me how I should trade it, but saying to me as well, you didn't catch the bottom, right? You won't spot the top, and that's okay. But I do take issue with that. By the way, if anyone can, it's Jordan. Thank you for that. Thank you for that's a beautiful comment. Listen, yes, Tone, you're right. I'm trying to get out within 25% of the top, but of course I'm trying to catch the top tick. You all know that. Yeah, I am confident in my analysis. Over here on January the 6th, 2019, how's this for a Bitcoin price prediction? This was at Bitcoin was trading at $4,000. Do you remember just coming off the 3,200 low? People thinking, we're going down to 1,000. We're going to 1,000, right? What do they call it? Some hyper BS or something like that. I don't know. Hyperwave. People promoting that. That was all over the quote unquote talk shows, podcasts, right? Anyway, here we go. At that point, I said, look, within the next 3 months, we're going to see 8,400. You heard it here first. Look where we were on chain as that happened on January the 6th. January the 6th, right over here. This is where I tweeted that out. Look for 8,400 within the next 3 months, which happened, and then we went even higher, which happened. But how many people right over here had the awareness to be calling not only the low, but what happened next on Bitcoin? I was there. The reason I bring this up, by the way, is because of this. The reason we're doing this morning is because of this. And he said, listen, I'm going to remove the reference. Sorry for the error and the offense, right? And of course, it was all out of innocence and goodwill. But there's this chart posted over here, right? This chart posted, and it's not only that, it's alluding to that. It's what I've been discussing. It has a price target over here of $160,000 with my name. I think that's really dangerous. I think that's entirely dangerous to put my name out there with those that like a Willy Woo or a Max Kaiser. By the way, it's been brought to my attention. They were just on a podcast over here on the Investors podcast over here, Plan B and Willy Woo. And yeah, Willy, by the way, I think he does some really good on-chain analysis. I think that's where I live on the charts, on price, on technical analysis. I believe, I don't know too much about him. I believe he does on-chain analysis. The only thing I consult on-chain is the R-holder ratio and the 1-year holder wave. And those are just both for confirmation of what's happening over here. I don't consult what's happening on-chain. It's more of like, oh, look, it's happening on-chain as well. That's really beautiful. But when you're putting my name out there and you're saying that I have a price target of 160,000, when I said that price target in February of 2020, going back a year ago from today, when Bitcoin was trading at what? What was Bitcoin trading at in February 2020? I would like to know, just so as I'm doing this right over here. 2020 Bitcoin is at $9,000, right? And I said, okay, it's going to be a year and a half from now, be trading at $160,000. And I did the math in the video showing how I got there, right? And it's beautiful and it's elegant, but it was wrong. It was wrong. It was using diminishing returns. I did it if I'm putting something out on YouTube, don't forget, this was February 2020, Bitcoin trading at 9,000. I'm calling for $160,000 Bitcoin. I put out a price prediction, just like I said, by the end of December 2020, we'd be trading at 18,000, and I showed why, right? Same thing, I wanted to meet a target, but I said I was wrong. I said I was wrong early. As soon as I realized I was wrong, that we were not seeing any type of diminishing returns, but that this cycle was stronger than the last cycle, not as strong as the first cycle, understanding the Fed's easy monetary conditions right now, seeing, and not only that, being quick to point out, not only are we not seeing diminishing returns, this cycle is going to be shorter than the last cycle, getting ready somewhere around the end of September to begin looking for that exit. That exit, which I've pointed out, is going to be between here and here. Now, probably somewhere over here, right? Between 400 and 450 days. right? Now, when people go out and they share my name and my work and they put it around other people who are not familiar, and there are very few familiar with what we do here. This is a small community. Very few people have the preview to what we do. Over here, they're going to be like, oh, Jordan said 160,000. Look, I said I was wrong early and revised that, right? And I'm not focused, by the way, on a price target as these guys, whether it's the Winklevoss twins or Matt or whatever who has a price target out there. My focus is on one thing and one thing only, and that's finding the exit and getting the exit correct, right? So either which way, it's all good, but the chart's still up. So I don't understand that, right? So I don't, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is dangerous. What else are we looking at? A lot. We have a lot to cover over here. This is from Gene yesterday. He said, I've been saying to everyone in our community, right? To everyone else that I could reach, that you have to lower your time preference, right? Because I'm thinking the next major swing could be the bottom of the bear market. Gene is saying you have to think out longer term. Where we are right now, right? Where we are trading at today at $47,000, right? And we know that why we could pull back 30% at any time, plus be mentally prepared for it. And it could happen now. We just looked at what happened the last cycle over there, right? It could happen again. But I think we're targeting somewhere around $70,000 here next. We'll look at Will's log scale as we get closer to it, right? So what does that mean? Is Gene is saying that could possibly be the bottom of the next bear market, right? So I want people to be thinking, after this point, Bitcoin may no longer be cheap, right? So if someone's determined to FOMO this fall as we're getting ready to exit, they need to have a very low time preference or be like thinking out 4 years from there. It will take 4 years for price to recover from the high in the fall, or be a very mature swing trader. Most will be much better off following your course and the community and exhibiting some patience. Eventually, when Bitcoin is pumping, CTM is going to need to urge prudence, right? As we're FOMOing in the fall towards the top of this market, a lot of people are going to be just joining us. A lot of people aren't going to understand all of the work that we put in. There was nothing easy about it. You're investing your time each and every day with this community. By the way, could you smash the like button? You're investing your time. The reason that you see what you see is because of the work you put in. That is what's happening over there. I digress, but I want to keep going over here because what he's saying is very important. As we get there, by the way, and I am exiting all in one spot, it's going to be clear on this channel. Everyone's going to hate me. I mean, really, I caused the fall of Bitcoin. Whatever they say, or that like I missed out on upside, but we'll see. I'm exiting, and everyone's going to know I'm exiting. And not only that, we're going to be looking forward to what's next over there. Gene went on to say, it's hard to imagine less than a year since I found Jordan and the Conquering the Markets community. So lucky to be with so many growth-oriented people building off the foundation that has been built here, and I'm grateful for it too. By the way, this is not me. This is not me sharing WhatsApp numbers on YouTube. If it's not highlighted in gray, it's not me. Stefano, and I know this is him because this was what I replied to him. So important. Thank you for highlighting that for me. It shows that my name is starred. I didn't know about that. I don't know if you do. I wanted to share that with you. That's important to be aware of. What else? By the way, today's training session. Today's training session is going to be directly after this. Is going to be, at 10:30 Eastern time. Is going to be about I thought I had it over here. I thought I had the title over here. It's going to be about not my exit from Bitcoin, but what I'm exiting into and why. This is where my mind is right now. It's when I'm exiting Bitcoin at the top of the cycle over here in this pocket area, as Bitcoin is going into a super cycle, and yes, I will hold, by the way, a small amount of Bitcoin. I'll hold 5 to 10%, 5 to 7%, whatever, of maybe even 10%. That's wrong, but maybe I'll do it anyway. Over here, the question was, right, in the morning live stream, you said 5 to 7%. I want people to know and understand that ahead of time. So I'm just going to kind of repeat things as we get closer and closer. Nevertheless, the majority of my position is being exited over here. What am I positioning into for am I going to short Bitcoin? Am I going to short Bitcoin as I'm expecting an 80-85% drawdown? Now, I know that's outside the herd. Everyone else thinks we're having less of a drawdown in the coming bear market. Great. That's when we're going to have that capitulation, right? That's when we're going to have that capitulation over here. At this point in somewhere over here, we're going to see capitulation. And that's going to be because everyone thinks that we're having less of a drawdown. That's when I know from what's happening on chain for how many more days to the next, how many more months to the next halving, right? Between this pocket over here that I'm going to be looking to position in. And towards the end of the pocket, as I just did over here, the last one, I'm going to say this is when I'm going back all in to Bitcoin, accumulating towards that bottom. What happens in between? What happens? Oh, by the way, Plan B, big shout out over here. Plan B and Willy Woo on the Investors Podcast. Big shout out because I love the colors. I love the pretty colors. This is my favorite chart, and because of the colors. And I thank you. I thank you. Will told me this morning that also maybe that's the interview. He said Plan B was on the Investors Podcast. He must be obviously referring to this interview with them here together. I'm not sure if I'm interested in it or not, because I don't follow Plan B's work on stock to flow. It's accurate. The model is actually accurate so far, and that's great. So it's a good guide. It's a good guide. Where else are we? Well, where else am I going? Where am I going? Thinking about what? Thinking about the exit. Thinking about the exit. We all know that time-based, how many days after the halving we have it also. We used the low, the low of the last cycle to how many days to the halving, less 2%, to give me where I think that the top of this peak will be. I'll be watching the price action. Either which way, I'm thinking about the exit and what my next move is going to be for these next 12 months. For these next 12 months, how am I going to be positioned? What am I going to be positioned into? And of course, it comes up, this exiting into a stable coin and collecting 8.6 interest or whatever it is at the time. Maybe it's 6%. It's still good. And sure, stable coin, collecting interest, waiting to buy back into Bitcoin is an option similar to strategy number 1 on 3 ways to trade Bitcoin, the bull market phase. Probably the easiest and the best. In the video, 3 ways to trade the Bitcoin bull market, I talked about very clearly strategy number 1 to buy and hold Bitcoin for the whole duration. That's probably the easiest way for people to trade the bull market. It's important and they should do it. Like, that's how mom should do it, and it'll work for her, and it's really effective. A lot of people trying to trade in and out won't do as well as her. Strategy number 2, teaching you how to buy or look to buy the 30% pullback. Scaling in, whether this market has been ruthless. This is the first 30% pullback. We've seen 15% pullbacks. We've seen 3 20% pullbacks, and only 30% pullback. But that strategy had you prepared. It was a little more advanced and adding to your position. Strategy number 3, the most advanced of them all, it's combining 1 and 2, and then also taking profits starting at 150% above. You all know over here at 6,200, the low printed over here back in November, I was like, my eyes are on 40,000, 40,500, I said. Right? I didn't know if that was going to be the top or we go vertical into 70. And if we went vertical into 70, I knew we would have a bigger drawdown. But this is where we pulled back. We had the 30% pullback over here. Now, what I'm exiting into, this is the most important thing. It's not going to be like strategy number 1. I'm exiting into stablecoin. And I think that's good for a lot of people. Pay your taxes. Wait to get back in. You're taking your next trade or just collecting interest in a stablecoin for over a year. So you have the possibility of capital gains or less than ordinary income of paying only capital gains. But it's going to be a lot more advanced than that. It's going to be what assets and why that I'm positioning into. I'm looking forward to it. It's the most exciting thing going on in myself right now. I'm so excited to share that with you all. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Where are we now? Just want to catch up with a couple. Like I said, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not here to talk about price, right? You have all this time to do your own research, speak with a professional, a tax professional. I look at the charts, right? And I've dialed in and filed in. My own stuff is complicated enough to be out there. I don't either which way, but generally speaking, do your own research, right? Fiat into Bitcoin and or crypto is not a taxable event. Bitcoin or crypto into anything else, including a stable coin, is a taxable event, right? Pay taxes, make money, pay taxes, right? That's the object. So, what else are we looking at over here? What else? Stable coins. I mean, listen, for something basic like this, though, for each and every one, that doesn't have to be stable coin. I could be like, this is a trend line resistance. What's a trend line resistance? Just a quick search, DuckDuckGo. What is a stable coin? What is resistance? What is support? What is a bull flag? Right? Things you have to be able to do this yourself. It's critical. There's no way you'll be a successful investor. There's no way you'll be a successful trader if you're not able to go that far. It's absolutely just essential. So you have to train yourself. You have to train yourself to look and to work and to be very adaptive. To be very, very, very adaptive. What else? Winey's wisdom. Take note. I missed it. I didn't see it. I was pretty focused on probably giving the strongest signal to anyone out there who is interested in the markets investing. So I did miss that, but that's the truth right there. All right. So beautiful, beautiful session. A half hour in. Where we are right now. Bitcoin getting close to, Bitcoin at new all-time highs. What's Ethereum doing? Ethereum right there also pushing all-time highs here on Ethereum into price discovery, right? Bitcoin right now is doing the work, is doing the hard work. That's great. We love it when Bitcoin leads. I expect Ethereum is going to be in lockstep with Bitcoin. What does that mean for Ethereum Bitcoin right now? You could see it was rejected at the resistance, by the way. Back now into support. That is trendline support. If this holds over here and does make higher highs, taking out that resistance, I expect, regardless of what Bitcoin is doing, Ethereum is going to be outperforming. Right? Well, so by the way, Wayne is asking, well, I get it. I get it, and you're dialed in, and I want to be there with you. What's the best way to get into Bitcoin right now? Right? For me, and it's been, and I've always been saying this ever since about 13,000, 12,000, the risk is on the up. The risk is to the upside. Not being invested is where the risk is. Always expect that 30% plus drawdown from wherever you enter, but the risk is to the upside, right? And that's where it continues right now. If you're not into Bitcoin, is 47,000, 48,000 Bitcoin cheap? Well, relative to what? Right? Relative to what? So do I think that the S&P 500 is going to put up what? Is it going to put up 9% this year? Is that possible? What about copper? Is copper going to have another 85% return last year? Right? Is it going to have another 85% return? It could. What about silver? Silver might crush it. Silver might genuinely crush it, right? What is this, by the way? Just for perspective over here. This is the wrong chart. This is the wrong line. That's like 1,000% gain though, right? So what's next though? What about the Nasdaq? Tech is surely gonna, what am I talking about? That's from the low. This over here, last year, you're looking at off the lows over here, about a 350% gain on Bitcoin, right? I've always said, or I've been clear about signaling to everyone that it was in the first quarter of 2021, you were going to see all correlations broken between Bitcoin. Do you remember when we had that huge crash in the markets in March? Do you remember over here? And then afterwards, every time the stock market went down, Bitcoin went down more. Do you remember? And everyone's like, well, what's going to happen to Bitcoin in the bull market if the stock market crashes? Do you remember how clear I was that Bitcoin was going to break all correlations? It happened. It started happening in the fall. I said, that's not anything. Wait, watch. And then over here, look at this. The markets crushed down over here. The markets were down, what, 10%? S&P 500? What did Bitcoin do in that same period, right? The market's down 6%. Bitcoin was up how many during that? Listen, Bitcoin is the only trade that matters. I want to be clear about that. If you're not invested into Bitcoin, Do you look? Anything I say is not investment advice. There's no way. If you're trading or investing in something you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing and when you're doing it, you're gonna get wrecked each and every time. A lot of people it's working out well for, right? A lot of people, they invest the time. They have that low time preference. They're investing their time each and every day, following what we're doing. They're not just like watching a video here or two and being like, man, that's that. Hold on a second. Where can I find that video? That is anyway, putting out misguided charts or something with well-intentioned, I'm sure. Well-intentioned, I'm sure. But either which I don't know where it is or where we got there. But I'm on Bitcoin, coming over to Ethereum. Ethereum also looking super good and healthy. I believe that is it possible Bitcoin continues to run here? That pops up another 5%, 10% in the next 24 hours? Yeah. If that happens, does it look like that rejection is going to push down below this trend line? Yeah. It looks like that will come back down and we'll find ourselves somewhere around over here. Somewhere around over there, right? Is that a place to pick up, on the resumption off? I think so. Right? What about the other altcoins versus Bitcoin, right? Same thing, that resistance is holding so far. You have to wait for the break or you're waiting to buy down off the support, off a significant drawdown. Will they also be 30%? They could be more. It's an altcoin. The markets are not as liquid, right? It's not as liquid, of course, right? Anyway, I'll save it I'm so excited for today's live session with CTM. I've never been as excited for a live session before. And I hope it's as good as this. I know it's going to be better, but either which way, I'm so excited for that. 823 likes, by the way. Thank you. What else? Brandon had a nice video yesterday. I was watching the whole live stream yesterday afternoon because I didn't release a video myself. And it was all over crypto based on Cardano. Enormous video. Really, really enjoyed watching over. Talking about whether, why to be going versus altcoins versus US dollar. The advantages of going through versus Bitcoin and when. Great stuff. Really enjoyed it. Big thumbs up to Brandon. Crypto trades and tech. You can see over here in DOC continues to be the strongest or looks strong, but it's resistance held back into the support. Let's see if we get that resumption off. This is where we get into price discovery. So everything looks very good. Everything looks very healthy. Chainlink Bitcoin. When is Chainlink going to pop next? But you can see the resistance over there. It's a very clear market. This is the time as Bitcoin is now breaking out to all-time highs. As it gets towards its next target, its next resistance. Is that when altcoins are going to fly, or altcoins going to fly when? I don't know, but you can follow what's happening directly on the chart and always wait for that break of resistance and the next move. Wow, Binance coin holding out very well. Here's Cardano almost up to the $1 level, right? Almost up to the $1 level, and it just keeps going. Beautiful. Watch Brandon's video he just did. Bitcoin having its way today, but this is a normal pullback. We like to see this type of consolidation after these huge up moves. Don't be the buyer after price went up, 30, 40, 50%. Don't buy then. Right? But is Bitcoin, I'm not going to tell you as we get into resistance, we'll look at Will's chart. As we get into resistance, as I see where I'm on chain right now, and if I'm like, oh, in this area right over here, we should have a pullback at, but I'll be cautious around $70,000. I wouldn't say people are the best, I would buy Bitcoin here. I would say, well, I would be waiting for the next 30% pullback before buying. But right now, Bitcoin over here, $47,000, below what I believe it'll be in the bear market. I think this is an excellent time to begin building a position into Bitcoin. By the way, as we get into September and even early September, if I believe Bitcoin has a 50% gain in it within days, yeah, to me, that's a better investment than anything else. If I believe Bitcoin has a 50% investment in a matter of days or weeks, of course, I don't think there's anything else that would make sense. Now, for those that are very advanced around that time, that's when altcoins are going to be exploding. But in the past cycle, coming into that phase, altcoins were getting wrecked. So be very careful. Understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Bitcoin. Equity markets unchanged on the day. Dollar, unchanged on the day. Gold and silver, unchanged on the day. Silver slightly bid, gold slightly off, right? Industrial metals, unchanged on the day. Unchanged on the day. Where else does that bring us? That's it, everyone. That's it. I'm going to go prepare for this training session because it's really important. So it's my most important piece of work up until this point. And that's how it will always be at big pivot points, right? As it was over here, making sure that the bull run was starting, that this is the accumulation phase right over here. This is the low, right? Making sure fully positioned in ahead of that, well ahead of the halving. And now making sure this bull market phase is ridden with precision. I don't know, like these guys, I'm sure it's great and fun to listen to, right? But when I know that I'm going to get the exit. I know that no one has been as accurate as myself. I don't refer to other people simply because of what we're doing here is way too important for myself, right? So everyone, I'll see you all later. I'm going to go out with some music over here. I'll see you all in a little bit. I'll see most of you in a little bit. Really looking forward to this session. Yeah. So sorry, right? Listen, the live sessions for Conquering the Markets members, all those that have digged deeper into the community to interact with it, to learn from myself in the course, be a part of our weekly live sessions. There's a link below in the description. It says my course and training program. The best investment, I believe, that you can make in yourself without question. You're going to get an email. Check your bulk folder, and it's also posted in the announcement channel on Discord. Yeah, absolutely. You have access not only to today's live stream, but the replay of that one and each and every other one. How to trade Bitcoin lightly leveraged, pushing your trade, an enormous, I don't know how many sessions there are, over a year's worth. I don't have a price prediction. I'm gonna get out at the top. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for making it. Oh, we're 2 likes short of 1,000 likes. 1 like short of 1,000 likes. If you're still here and haven't already, smash that like button. If you're watching the replay, thanks for being here. Everyone, I'll talk to you later. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.